So I haven't had a Morgan in the barn in a couple of years, and now I have two. You probably saw the video of the little buckskin Morgan. This is Travis. I think he's 6 or 7. I don't remember exactly. And he was well started when he came here. He's been here about a month. He was well started and has a lot of miles on him. Lots of trail miles, and he was actually shown as a baby in hand. But he doesn't have a lot of arena time, a lot of arena riding. And you can see by riding him around here, he's looking at that water, looking out there at the other horses. I just put this plywood up Friday. It's the first time he has seen it. There's a lot of new stuff for him to look at, and he don't miss a thing. Doesn't do anything bad, but he hasn't had a lot of saddle time recently. So I'm trying to get him a little bit more arena broke. The owner would like to show him at some Morgan shows. So I'm putting some arena time on him, getting him a little more arena broke. Now, as far as training wise, most of the saddle time he has had has been in a snaffle bit. And it's time for him to go ahead and advance up to a leverage bit. What I have been working on most of this past month is getting him a little bit softer on my hands with the snaffle bit. And this is actually the first time I have had a leverage bit in his mouth. I am pretty sure he has had one before, but he has not had one a lot. And the owner would like to show him in some rail classes. So what we need him to do is bridle up, use his body correctly, learn how to neck rein a little bit better, and basically generally get him a little more show ready, a little more arena ready. He is, I have a saddle that fits just about everything that comes into my barn, but I didn't have a saddle that fit him. And his owner is local to me, and this is actually her saddle that I'm riding in. It fits him pretty good and doesn't fit me too bad. I'm not very tall. I didn't even have to adjust the stirrups. Same length it was when she brought him to me. So I've just been kind of walking around, pointing his nose a little bit, asking him to go forward. As you see, I have a leverage bit on him. I have my spurs on. I haven't even touched him with the spurs yet. Just kind of sending him forward with my legs. What I want to do, he's been kind of hard on my direct rein, so I want to make sure I'm not overly pulling on this direct rein to point his nose. Actually pretty good. Kind of led with his shoulder there. I need more nose, point his nose. There we go. And I've been dealing with that with him from the beginning. When we're going left, you need a left bend. When you're going right, you need a right bend. I've been getting the left bend a lot better than what I've been getting the right bend. See, I is a very distracted horse. And when I go to bend, I have to get his attention on me. And you see there, he's looking at that wet spot on the ground. Now we got some right bend. Right bend, good boy. Whatever breed a horse comes in, I try to adjust my training as best I can to match that breed. So I'm going to ride the Morgan a little bit different than if he was a quarter horse. I have a walking horse out there. I'll ride him a little different than what I'll ride the Morgan. The basic training is the same, but because their bodies are put together different, you get a different frame. And with that different frame, you have to ride that a little different. So let's go ahead and ask him for a trot. I'm going to turn around and go to the left, work his left first, and then we'll work right. little worried about that plywood. He's hitting the ground pretty hard. He's a little worried out here. It is Monday. He hasn't been worked since Friday. So he's a little fresh, a little worried. First time he's been out here since that plywood was put up. So it's a little bit different look for him. And it rained this morning. So the last time he was out here, the sides of the arena weren't wet. Wasn't wet out there. So he's got to have a chance to take it all in. But one of the things that he needs is he needs to be better arena broke. When you haul a horse to shows, to be successful, to do well at the show, you need that horse to walk into an arena that he's never been in before and ride and show just like he does at home. So the little bit of different look that I have in my arena because of the plywood up and the rain being wet, it's all good for him. We go ahead and ride like none of that exists. Being soft with his mouth. Let's go right now. Right there, he kind of lean with his shoulder. I don't know if you can see it. Really leaning hard with his shoulder, his head's to the outside. We go ahead and make him go in a circle. A little bit of right leg, right spur. Try to get that bend to the right. I'm raising my right hand, bend to the right. Let's go forward. You can see, I'm sure you can see right there he's crooked. That's where we need to lift that right shoulder. Let's come back down to a walk and let's work that at a walk. So what I'm going to do, ask him to bend to the right. Now he's trying to go see that horse. We're not going to go see that horse. We're going to bend to the right. Nope, we're not going to try it again. And I'm going to push with my right spur, ask that shoulder to go over. Lift the shoulder. The shoulder's falling to the inside, so I'm going to lift with my right hand, push with my right leg, push with my right spur. I'll ask with my calf first. Then if I don't get it on calf, right there, go to spur. Push the shoulder over, get the bend I need. Now let's go forward. Now as soon as I asked him to trot, the shoulder fell to the right. Let's push it over again. That's for a trot. Shoulders falling to the right again. Push it over. Go forward. Squeeze with both legs. Go forward. Shoulders to the right. Let's push it over. Try to push it. There we go. Or try to push it over at a trot. If I can get it, good. If not, I'll pull him down to a walk. Push it over. Then we'll go again. Forward. Forward. Need to lift that shoulder. Shoulders lift with my right leg, shoulder to the left, and forward. Right rein, right leg, forward, both legs, right rein, right leg, forward. Forward. He kind of just shoved his shoulder over there to go where he wanted to go. He did it again to go to that horse. Forward. Forward, there we go. Right rein, right leg, forward. Right rein, right leg. There we go. Nope, we're not going over there. It's taking me over there. I'm just going to keep bumping with both spurs. Make that not a good place to be. Not a good place to be. He starts taking control to take me someplace. I'm going to start pushing with both spurs, bumping with both spurs to make that not a good place to be. I'm not doing that again. When he's in the show pen being shown, he cannot do that. He has to follow the rail or do whatever pattern is called for in that class. He cannot just take you where he wants to go. Felt better, didn't roll me to the outside as bad. Right shoulder, right shoulder, right shoulder. He moves that shoulder over, I'll get soft. Get soft with my spurs, get soft with my hands, and just ride forward. Make a circle right here, right spur, right rein, right spur, right rein, get some bend, get some bend, get some bend, forward. Now he's shouldering to the left, forward. He can't just shoulder over where he wants to go. Let's do that circle again. Forward. What happens in any arena, they get a little bit bored and they want to go where they want to go, or they want to stop, or go visit a horse, or go stand in a corner. They have to get over that. They have to do what the rider tells them. Yeah, that was good. He started shoulder to the left, and I hit him with my left spur pretty hard. And he said, nope, I won't do that. I'll go where you want to go. All my cues, let's walk and talk about this. Everything has an ask, tell, and demand. I've talked a lot about this in different aspects. Most recently with lunging on the ground. Works the same way in the saddle. Let's go forward. With my hands, my legs, my seat. Everything has an ask, tell, demand. If he's pushing with that right shoulder, my ask is a push with my calf. My tell is to push with my spur. And my demand is to do whatever it takes to put that shoulder over. I'll poke on him pretty hard. I'll do whatever it takes to go to the demand to get the shoulder over. It goes over, I get soft. That's why to train a horse correctly, you have to have spurs. You have to have a demand. He needs to respect my spur. I don't go straight to the spur and pushing on him, send him forward my seat. See, I'm riding more than he's riding. He's wanting to stop. Fan my legs, and I'll go ahead and poke him with spurs. Ask, tell, demand. I have to have that demand. If I don't have demand, I'm never going to get my horse to the level that he could be. Just like in the lunging video, when I was lunging that colt and he was refusing to go, and I would go to demand and slapping him with the lunge line or hitting him with the lunge whip. For demand, doing the same thing with him. I am riding, he's not going. I'm going to go to demand and demand that he go forward. He goes forward, I'm going to relax. I have to have forward to work the shoulder. The shoulder is the issue that I need to fix. He starts thinking about stopping. I'm going to ask, tell, demand to go forward. I'm riding, squeeze, there we go. He started going on tell, but see him going over that way? Points his nose, and I got kind of hard. I went to demand with my left spur. I'm going to be nice as long as he's nice. As long as he goes where I ask him to go. So there we go. He started to slow down there. I went to ask. I started riding and he went on forward. But now he's kind of slowing down again. Giving a little bit of right spur because he was right shoulder was falling in. The shoulder falling has a lot to do with a lot of things. I've talked a lot about the shoulder falling. Shoulder slouching is another way to put it. I've talked a lot about that with the horse that speeds up. What happens, the shoulder will slouch, the horse starts pulling with the front feet, and the back feet gets all out of rhythm and can't keep up. That's what's happening a little bit here. Shoulder falls, his body isn't in the correct position to keep going forward. So I want to get the shoulder up and send him forward with shoulder up, engage the back end. Shoulder up, engage the back end. If the shoulder is not up, I'll lift it. If the back end is not engaged, I'll engage the back end. I'm going to add and use the ass-tail demand for all of that. That was a little bit better. Brought his head on around to the right. I gave him a little touch with my spur, a little tail. Then he kept it up and went on forward. That was much better. This horse was very, very buddy sour at his house where he came from. He was turned out with a small group of horses, like most people do when they keep their horses at home. And I'm not positive. I think he was the youngest one in the group. And he kind of got attached to his buddies and was very buddy sour. So when he came here, part of what I needed to accomplish was to get him looking to me for direction. So I have kept him either in a stall separated from everybody else or in a paddock separated from everybody else. I need him to more look to me for direction than another horse. He has had a little bit of a hard time with that, but that is better for his welfare, for him to not be so buddy sour. It's okay to have friends. It's okay to be in a herd. All horses are herd animals. They need that herd structure. But when you go to pull them out of the herd, they need to do what you tell them to do. You can't have a horse that's so buddy sour that when you pull him out of the pasture from his buddies and go to do something with him, that he's bad mannered and doesn't want to be ridden, doesn't want to do anything because he's constantly trying to go back out to his buddies. And you see he's looking out there. That's what he's doing there. Even though he's never been out with any of those, it's a horse. He's looking for a buddy. He needs to look to me for direction. He's not a baby. He's old enough to have a little bit more self-confidence, and that's what it comes down to. He needs to be a show horse, needs to be an arena horse. He's going to go in that arena. There'll be other horses there, but he's not going to know any of them. And we don't need him aggressive towards the other horses. I believe the owner told me he has been aggressive towards other horses before. They do that because they're not comfortable around those horses. They want their buddy. They want their buddy to protect them in the herd. Well, what he needs to learn is that I will protect him. He needs to do what I ask him to do. And when we're riding, I am his buddy. That's a real important lesson that this horse needs to learn to be a successful show horse. It's what any horse needs to learn to be a good riding horse. A buddy sour horse does not make a trustworthy riding horse. They don't really care about what you're asking them to do. All they care about is going to their buddy. So I am accomplishing that with him by just giving him something to do. I tell him to go someplace. He's looking at the horse. I say, let's go over here. He's dropping his shoulder. I say, lift your shoulder up. Doesn't really matter exactly what I tell him to do. He just needs to do what I ask him to do. In the process of doing those leg yields, pushing the shoulder up, it's going to make the shoulder stronger, and he'll hold it up on his own better. That has been more of an issue today than it has been in most of the other rides that I've had on him. I think today he's just a little slouchy, a little lazy. But overall, he's a pretty nice horse. He's not an idiot by any means. Maybe a little on the lazy side, a little on the buddy sour side, but nothing too bad. Right shoulder. Now if you have a horse that's doing these kind of things, it's a fine line between working them enough that you're building the shoulder and not working them so much that they start to get sore and sour from it. So every time, let me turn around so you can see. But every time I ask him, every time I ask him to lift the shoulder up and over, shoulder comes up, I'm using this muscle right here, I'm strengthening this muscle. So if you do a lot of this at one time, you can make them back sore along their back right under the saddle. So I need to do it enough that I'm strengthening the muscle, but not so much that I make him back sore. If you are doing this exercise and you notice your horse does get back sore, just ease back on it a little bit. Just like when we're working out, starting a new exercise and we can get a little bit muscle sore, they can do the same thing. It's not a huge deal. Just need to kind of give them a chance for the muscles to recover. So this is Travis. I'll be doing more videos of him. Until next time, thank you for watching.